Hey everyone, it's Tony Monaco, and welcome to my Music Shop Talk show and lessons. I'm so excited. I love to teach music, and this gives me an opportunity to meet you, get you doing what I love to do the most. That's playing music. By the way, you're listening to my music. It's music from my upcoming Four Brothers CD, and this is the title track, Four Brothers, and I wrote this song. So, in our show, we're going to really learn a lot of things about playing music and having fun. And music doesn't have to be something that you kind of like are afraid of, right? It just has to be something that you embrace and enjoy. So this is how I teach my lessons, and most of my students will Zoom with me, and you're going to get professional audio, and you're going to actually learn how to play keyboards. We're going to have some fun. So if you're interested, you can always get a hold of me. My website, B3 Monaco, and b3monaco.com. And I even have an introductory lesson deal. And I love to teach, so if you'd like to go further in the journey of music with me, get a hold of me. This is what I do. But in the meantime, let me share some ways that you can get started. And here's the exercise that's going to follow from the show. So, what we're going to do is, I showed you in the show how you can go to YouTube and find drum grooves to play along with. And what I'm going to do is try different drum grooves today so that you can try these uh, hand positions and practice along with me or practice taking your solo. So I'm going to move you over. But what I'm going to do right now is for those who are interested in going deeper, there are kind of things that you can do or use that are aids. I use a little application called Drum Genius, and it has many drum grooves. And as you know from watching the show, that it's not just about learning the notes, but where we put them. So for our practice, I'm going to try different grooves so that you can start getting used to how it feels to play them, whether it be kind of funky or kind of Latin or even swing, okay? So we're going to try our exercises. And Drum Genius is not an expensive app. There are plenty of free loops that you can access, as you've seen in the show on YouTube. So you don't have to invest any money if you don't need to. And if you have a keyboard laying around the house, that's great because you don't need much to play music. You just need this. And the rest of it is just the material things to make it happen. Music is an energy, it's a spirit. And just to give you a little preempt of what I think about music, it's a combination of notes and rhythm. Because if you didn't have rhythm, you wouldn't have a place for on and off, right? The rhythm is, and so therefore, to make music happen, there has to be some sort of flow, right? In modern music, it's very calculated, okay? And it has to have some sort of harmonic order. And when you put those two together, you make music. So it doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. We're going to play some notes to some cool grooves, and they're going to be easy notes. But it's not about the notes. Some of the greatest solos that's ever been played by some of the greatest artists doesn't necessarily contain a lot of notes or complicated notes. So it's about how you play the notes and where you play them, okay? Just always remember that. And by the way, I didn't know if you know, when you go to my website, I also have a school for only about $14.95 a month. I got hundreds of hours of videos of stuff that you can learn by watching. So I make education pretty easy to get, and no one really teaches the organ that much because it's an instrument that's rare. And, I've spent my whole life playing it, so I love to play the organ. So let's get to our drill. Okay, I'm going to switch to my overhead camera, and you're going to be seeing my keyboard. And if you go to Walmart, even if you live in a place where there's no music stores around and you go to Walmart or someplace like that, they sell little inexpensive MIDI keyboards for under $100. If you're fortunate enough to have a secondhand music store in your city or nearby, like Music Go Round, of course, you can probably pick up some of these inexpensive, not this, but some of the inexpensive keyboards for a song, for less than a song. How's that? That was cute. So I'm going to play on this 76 note keyboard that I just purchased. It's a Kurzweil, and it's called the PC4. And I teach lessons on the organ, and now I'm teaching split keys, so that if you have a keyboard and you want to split it and learn how to play left-hand bass and chords and leads on the right hand, I'm starting to teach that too. So I don't just teach organ lessons anymore. I also teach split keys. So those of my students that have purchased the past split keys videos, you're going to dig this. So I'm right here. All right. So I split the keyboard up for me because I like to play bass with my left hand. If you don't split your keyboard because it won't split, that's okay too. And I find if you have the access to find like an electric piano sound, that kind of sounds like an electric bass already. So it doesn't matter on the sound, but find a sound that you like to play with, because that's part of the soundscape, as they call it. So why people get gear fever is because they get tired of using the same sound, so they want new sounds, right? Okay, so I'm going to grab a funky groove, okay? And we're going to go slow, okay? So this is 60 beats per minute, the same speed as the second hand on your watch, okay? Remember those? 2, 3, 4. That's our time. See, that's very important when you play music, that you dance to the time. Okay? So remember that it's just a flow. You can feel it. Boom. Boom. Right? They call that one universal one. Boom. Boom. Right? That's the groove setter. Boom. Boom. So we're going to put our left hand, okay, on the note C. Okay, notice that C has a space below it and has 2 flats and sharps above it. Okay? That way you notice where you are. And here we're going to grab E and B flat. Okay? And this is just going to come down on dun, 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 dun. So you follow me. Now I'm going to put this down on my right hand on 1. Okay, so I'm going to count, right? 1, 2, 3. Universal 1. 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just important to play with the music, right? Now, if you started practicing the notes that I gave you, you can start playing on top of me, okay? Now remember that I talked about freedom, and if you feel the groove someplace, you can put the right hand chord in that spot. So like maybe you feel it a little bit ahead, like 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. See? You can put it anywhere you want. As long as you put it in the same place. Okay, let's put it right back on 1. That is how you establish a groove, by the way. Just want you to know. By shifting something and putting it at the same spot over and over again, just like putting a notch in the wood, you create a groove, right? So remember we talked about sometimes you can add E flat and A. I just want you to look again because we talked about this, that it's both notes, both fingers are going to move down a half step to these 2 notes, A, okay? But while we're playing this C bass, our ear and everyone around wants to hear it resolve, because that's where it is, right? That's C, see? You feel it? So when you use this other chord, you're going to use it as an approach to. In other words, it's going to like just be an approach back. So when you use that second chord, you've got to come back to this, because that is where the ear hears these 2 together. See? Watch. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to put the other chord, okay, on 4. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3. The other chord, 1, 2, 3. The other chord. We're going to play the first chord on 1 and the other chord on 4. So you can start to hear it. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 1. See, we always come back to this. Right? Just getting coordination and being able to take both fingers. I'm using the same fingers. Just my second finger and fourth. Some people have different fingering, and I'm not going to really tell you what to do, because as a jazz musician, I'm constantly changing keys and ideas, so fingering is relative to where I am and what I'm doing in that moment. So for now, for our show, we're going to have fun with music. Formal lessons, you can learn all that, okay? We're just going to paint trees and rivers. Have fun, right? See, I'm talking to you and doing this. So that's what you want to be able to do, is do it so, like, just keep doing it, hanging around, right? Boom. This is never going to go away. It's going to stay with the drums. Now, remember we talked about if you so feel it, you can always add a little bit of spice to it by like maybe making that transition between the half step below and up. Whoops. Oh, there you go. We found you there. You're gonna be able to, it's hard to think about this idea and explain it. You can make some of them long, short, or short, long. So let's try that, okay? Right, let's just get ourselves back in groove. 1, 2, 3. Right? 2, 3, 4, 1. So now let's go to the 1 faster. Okay, so we're going to kind of precede 1 when we hit the second one. We're going to say 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. See, just by moving that and making that short and this one long and moving it over. Don't think about how it's written on paper, just how it feels. See, just look. Ba-doo-doo, doo, tap-a-doo, boom. Ba-da, let's go back to square, okay? All right, so whatever you hear, how about if we changed it to long, short, but we stop. So we go 4 and 1, but notice we always end with the B flat and the E because that tells us we're home, right? This is important. It won't sound right. Let me show you why. Whoops. Where did it go? Where is it? Right? Yeah, you want to hear. Okay? So that's how the music plays with using a second chord as an approach chord, right? To just make it kind of have some movement. So have fun if you feel different rhythms like... I'm going through 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Now notice my friend has always been this drum machine because it's never going to move. It helps me to learn how to play in time. Because remember these little grooves, they can't be put in those places if the time is moving. So music requires the time to be consistent so that the place that you call a groove, remember notching the wood in a special place, doesn't change, right? Because when that changes, then that place is no longer in the same place in time. And it's important that universal one. Boom. Right? Boom. You can call it that. Or you can split it up. Boom. 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 However you feel the pulse. See, I started with below, right? But I can always end. Right? Alright? Now let's change groove just to make it fun. That was just a pop groove. You can find them everywhere, okay? But let's change it to a Latin groove. I like Latin grooves because they make me think about, having a nice little cool beverage by the ocean. Whoa, that sounds good, right? Maybe being in Brazil. Now, sometimes some of these grooves won't go as slow as we need it to. Like this one only can go down to 110. Well, that's too fast for you if you're just beginning, right? But it's really not if you can think about it, that music can be mathematical. In other words, it could be, we could say 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it's too fast, right? Doon, 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 da, do, da, 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 right? Or you can slow it down like 1, 2, 3, 4 in half. This is called halftime. Right? So for this groove, we're going to let the drums help us. Kind of felt that, didn't you? Ooh, getting fancy on you. Just follow along. Right? 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we can double them, right? Just showing you. How about if you want to get a little fun and just go? Ooh, just change the accent. Ba, ba, Remember, the groove is able to be accomplished because the time isn't moving. Because it's always going to be right there. Universal one. See, they're all happening. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam, 2, 3, 4. You just relax in that. There you go. Now my left hand is getting a little weird here. It says, come on, man. Right? What about if I just kind of, what do you feel? I'm feeling this. Just keep that going for a while, right? That's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now most of you are probably falling out by now. But you that can, keep going. Hang on. So, grooves can start to change. This is easier. Do, 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 do. See? All right, that's cool. Now let's make it swing. All right, so now I'm going to go to a swing groove. Oops, wrong program. Let's see, where's swing? Okay, this is slow swing. Oh, it's going to be perfect. Look at this. One, 2, 3, 4. Right? Let's change the sound. Make it fun. Acoustic bass. And we're going to remove. Okay, so this is going to be like jazzy, right? Now you keep it going for me, okay? Now remember, we talked about the major. Right, remember? So now, this is always going to be happening, right? And you can start to say, start picking these 3 notes and these 2. See how easy this is. Just enjoy. See, music is just a conversation when you're taking a solo, so it's your pace. Nothing really has to happen other than what you want to say or not say. I could just say, They call this spready greenie. Just chomping, right? Chomp, 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 chomp. Lock it in. I'll tell you a fun one I like is, wow. How about this one? Same thing. There you go. For you guys who want to learn a little bit more complicated licks, how about? Yeah. All right, try it one more time. Here, we're going to try it. Just hitting the E and G and sliding off of that E flat. Remember we talked about how you can slide off notes and how you can add other notes like F and B flat. Okay, because this belongs to the chord. That's why we add B flat to this. Right? And in between these two, right a half step above this, you can add that note too. Okay, so these are the spicy notes that we can add while we're saying this. Okay, and you noticed occasionally instead of sliding like we talked about how you can go I just decided to kind of, because it kind of sounds bluesy, doesn't it? And you've heard that before. So if you've heard something, just go ahead and play it. You'll know if it's right. Wow, that just became really cool, right? That's what I just heard. How about you? How about? Right? Ooh, there you go. Right? Short, long. Long, short. Tight. All right. Well, geez, like with most of my students, I give more than you can do. But you can do it. And listen, this is here for you to just enjoy. This is the beginning of learning how to be able to tell a story. There are a lot of ways to learn how to play music. Formal lessons are important, especially to get into the real order and playing songs. But on Saturday mornings here, I'm going to at least let you start having some fun with a keyboard. That's important. So I can't wait to hear some of your examples. Don't be afraid to send them over to me on Facebook. You got my channel, okay? And the other thing is, don't forget that I have a school and that I teach online lessons privately so that we can go much deeper than that. So thanks for joining me. God bless you. B3monaco.com, and we'll see you soon, okay? Thank you.